Hello, it's me, Luck. And yeah, we're on Barry. This is Barry SMP. I mean, that looks familiar, right? Except I used to not live by it. But yeah, welcome back. A couple things have happened. I might sound different still. Apologies. I'm still kind of sick. This is my home. We'll talk about that in a second. First off, we have been busy. We've gotten a couple things. This server has gone through. It's been a ride. It's been a ride. So more or less, from this is still Barry season 2. We still have backpacks. We do not have all the animal mobs we used to. Long story short, Alex's mobs in Citadel, for the most part, slowly and surely started just not working for everyone. And so we switched over to Fabric. So this is now Fabric. Fabric does have backpacks. We still have backpacks. And we have a couple other things like Croptopia and a couple other, quality of life mods. But for the most part, it's probably more vanilla than it was before. I don't know what's up with these particles. I guess I'm just sparkly now. But before Barry went kaboom, I had actually finished this build more or less. But ironically enough, I didn't take a screenshot just because I was just exhausted. So we took a little break, and then we went on vacation, and then I came back with Rona for the first time ever, and that was great. And now I can finally record stuff without coughing every 5 minutes, which is nice. So thanks for that. And so I finished this building on the old version of, so it's the same seed as before. We got that to work. I finished this building, but when we copied it over to this world, because obviously you can't just paste over a forge seed into a fabric world. It's, just asking for corruption. The seed came over blank. We tried to light Matica more or less, or not light Matica. Why did I say light Matica? I think it's schematic. That's it. Here's my new pets. We're doing classic luck. We have another duck. Is that 4 ducks? What is happening? Anyways, yeah. So the foxes don't see the ducks as birds, which I think is kind of cute. So they've just been kind of living together. We'll talk about this in a bit. This is my magnum opus of redstone and iron farms. It is kind of a lot, but I love it. So anyways, so this came over and it was actually missing pretty much this block over was gone. And on this side, this block and over was gone. And it was just, that was because in Rue's defense, they prioritized my redstone, which I appreciate. Didn't super want to have to build that redstone again. But this was kind of easy to build. I may have put a little less effort into it, at least on that side. It's fine. It's kind of this is the starter house, more or less. And it's kind of fun. This is all non-spawnable surfaces, which I kind of like. And so, I mean, you can kind of play with the lighting. I haven't furnished it yet. We do have a furniture mod. But we have our usual, where are they? Our villagers to trade iron. And then, we can easily go through, get our iron, which is pretty much how we use to heal our items. We don't really use it as, emeralds are nice, obviously, but we definitely get more golden carrots through this process than I need or I consume. So I end up just giving away a lot of the golden carrots to people. And then go over here, get our golden carrots. And we could probably definitely use more iron trades. But, it is what it is. Yeah, I like it. It's a fun build. It's got a lot of layers. It's got a lot of space. So I don't know if you saw there's these corners. Excuse me. I just had a cough there for a bit. So we have these corners, 4 corners, in fact. And so the way the iron farm works is it's kind of set up for max efficiency. So there's, each one's a module. So we have a module like so. I kind of want to go into spectator to show, but we'll resist the urge. So there's a lot of cool things, a lot of innovations, which I borrowed some are my own. So one of the innovations I borrowed was, of course, if the villagers wake up and there's nowhere for them to go, they automatically all go to one block. If they're all at one block, they all get frightened at the same time. Now, for some reason, I've noticed that their AI likes to face away. And every once in a while, one of them will turn and get scared and blah, blah, blah. Now, I don't know why. I think it might be a issue with their AI breaking or something. They're auto-tracking and they don't move anymore. But for the most part, it works fine. They always do that. They always stop looking at the zombie, so it's not really much of an issue. I still do the zombie in a boat because obviously if the zombie dies, it's easier to get him there walking onto a boat. Bingo bango. Now, the reason why this other redstone is here is because I found that for some reason, because this is a setup that a lot of people have. Now, this timer and this timer for the trapdoor are separate. Now, prepare yourself. This is Luck trying to explain redstone. So when a villager is about to sleep, it takes a good solid, I timed it down to like, I think the amount of time, so there's a time difference between a villager sleeping and a player sleeping. And what I discovered is that the villagers can, and sometimes do, take the amount of time it takes between the villager sleeping and a player sleeping for all of them to find their beds. Now, if your timer that lets them find their beds and stops the scaring is set up to players only, not all 3 villagers have had time to find their beds, and all 3 AIs have been reset. So what this whole system is set to isn't nighttime mode, or isn't like the players going to sleep or not. It's actually, if you can see up there, it's another villager that's not being scared, not being terrified. So when that villager goes to a bed, this glass lifts up, they're able, and that trapdoor's lower, they're able to find a bed. And then before a player is allowed to sleep, before that time is reached, the glass is pushed down so that when a player does sleep, they automatically get recentered to the middle. I know. It's pretty clever, isn't it? It's pretty clever. Now, obviously, there's 2 outputs for a villager sleeping when you monitor it, and there's multiple ways to deal with that. I used a T flip-flop switch, which is usually the main way, and I just put it down below. There's more compact ways to do it, but I find that sometimes if this area is half loaded, this area can be a little temperamental. So my area setup seems to be pretty shenanigans proof. And I'll show you what I mean. So let's go over to the main area. If we can get over there. And boom. So the main area over here, as you can see, we actually have 2 timers. Oh, where are they? Where are the timers? Where's a good view? We actually have one of, so it's interesting. We only really need one to be a timer, and that's up here, and that's for the top part. The other part, the part that keeps the trapdoors closed, that can just be set to when the villager wakes up and goes to sleep. So that's when that goes back and forth. It's pretty chaotic. It took a lot of fine-tuning. I'm pretty proud of it, but more or less what the output is for this redstone, this times 4. And obviously you can modular this, like make it taller and blah, blah, blah. But the other part, which I'm also very proud of, is the Nene chamber. Let's see if I can drop down there and not die. So this is the drop down area. And obviously, with iron golems, if you've ever dealt with iron golems, they're so annoying, that if you try to do a drop down one, unless you do a wall one, they get trapped, like so. Now, if you go into F3B, you'll notice that iron golem's hitboxes is inside the lava. And what that means is that iron golem is dying just as fast as if they're in the lava stream down there. Now, the iron golem's hitbox is so big that no matter what they do within this hitbox, because there's 3 cauldrons of lava, if they get stuck up here, they're going to die just as fast as if they're in the lava column down there. And the nice thing about that is then the villagers get told, hey, we can go back to being our thing. Now, this is the interesting thing. The only thing that seems to reset the villagers' interest is the player. So technically, if you really want to optimize this, just put a minecart on a track going around in a circle and just sit in it, and it'll reset the iron golems. But look at that, 3 iron golems at once. All of them got stuck. They all fell down. They just barely missed the lava. And then they fall down, reset. Bob's your uncle. Now, I've been talking to you for probably about 5 minutes. And, let's say 10. So, in about 10 minutes, we've gotten this much iron. I mean, that's pretty good. The other important part about this iron farm, which I failed to show off, is there's an off switch. Now, the off switch is pretty simple. It just goes to the redstone line that controls the trapdoors. Now, unfortunately for that, for whatever rhyme or reason, the villagers every once in a while do still get scared. So just right down here. So if I just go like that, trapdoors go down, and yeah. But it's easy, it's spam proof. Oh, see, look. So see, they're all finding their beds. Let's see if I can get down there. They all found their beds. All of them. You can kind of see on the map in the corner. And then the timer's done. They go down. And then when I go to sleep, they all wake up. And then the iron golem train of delicious iron continues. And you can see that these guys are going to get nade about the same time as the one up there. Same amount of time. Just because they don't show the fire animation doesn't mean that the iron golem is not technically on fire. It's taking the same amount of tick of damage that it would be getting from lava even without the fire animation. So yeah, that's my magnum opus of iron farms. It was kind of a pain in the butt to get it like just tuned just about right. The timing for the down for the glass, I mean, if it was when it was off by just like 4 ticks, it made such amount of difference. So I just it's just fine tuning it. Maybe if people are interested, I'll go through further and kind of break down like the ticks, like each tick, the distance, the Y distance. It obviously everything is measured. Each one of these 4 boxes in the same exact spot. Each module is in the same exact spot, etc., etc. If you're interested, obviously, I refuse to do anything not for views. I'm shameless. But yeah, so that's the iron farm. Hope you like it. But we weren't just doing an iron farm. We were getting all this iron, apart from like way too many golden carrots, has a purpose. And that purpose is going to be making Well, it's just really to give us fuel to get everything else that we need. So over there a bit. And this is one of those things I might just show you on the map because it's too big an area to see. We are going to do, I know it's like, oh, it's old hat, Doc did it, but I'm going to make a perimeter. And here, we'll go to this corner. Here, so we just went to a corner that marked out perimeter, and I just marked it out like this. Slow, like for the only reason is I just don't want people building in here by accident, because obviously you know how perimeters work. It's going to get destroyed. All this stuff's going to get destroyed. I'll probably go through and make sure if there's anything of value in it, kind of thing. Take it out. But for the most part, we're going to do the perimeter more or less the way the Doc did it, but with a couple snafus. I don't have Elytra. This Elytra is not super allowed on the server yet. And if you remember what advantages an Elytra have to a flying machine, if the flying machine runs away, you have to get on it somehow. So we're going to have to double, triple check, more so than like redstone experts do. And I'm not a redstone expert, so we have to do super cautious. And just kind of, it's going to be a project. This is going to be like months in the making project. I've been planning it for almost a year now. Pretty much since I saw Doc do it, I was like, I got to do it. And this is smaller, obviously. It's 300 by 300, which I believe is the base minimum for a perimeter. I believe Doc's is 500 by 500 blocks. I'm not crazy, so I don't plan to do that. I'm also not that good of a Minecrafter. Just, you know, honesty is good. It's good to know your levels. But that's the plan. That's what's coming in content. And obviously, I did tease the idea of doing more IRL content. Obviously, still sick, but we're going to be doing that too. We haven't decided whether we're going to do that on this channel or on our second channel, but just in case, don't forget to subscribe to my second channel as well. There is absolutely no content on it whatsoever, so we'll know you're a real one if you subscribe to it. But yeah, anyways, that's it. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you liked the build and the update. And Barry 2. I think Rue said this is like 2.4 or something. I don't know. I can't keep track. Anyways, thanks for watching. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to like, subscribe. If you like the iron farm, I don't know. Ask me in the comments. I can explain stuff. I'll explain stuff in the comments. I'm a nice YouTuber. Sometimes. Most of the time. Okay. Bye.